Hello everybody, my name is John McNutt. I work with Dynamic Air Quality Solutions, and today I'm here with Brett Larson. Brett covers our southern region for Dynamic, and today we're going to share some information with you. We're going to do an installation of the 1-inch polarized media air cleaner. Now this particular installation is going to go into a 5-inch media cabinet, which is what we call a retrofit installation. And Brett, if you would, could you share some information on the retrofit 1-inch panel?
Absolutely. This is our 1-inch media air cleaner. The difference between a retrofit air cleaner and a normal one that would slide, like say, into a filter rack here, is this has special channels that we put on it to fit to a particular manufacturer's box. Now we make these in all different types that will fit in any type of manufacturer's box that you have. Just contact us and we'll make sure that it will fit.
The second thing that we're going to be showing is we're going to do an installation of what we call the UVC, the ultraviolet C, and the UVV, or the oxidation. So this lamp will cover what we call phase 2 and phase 3 contaminants, the germs and the gases and odors. And Brett, again, if you could share a little information about this.
Absolutely. Since this is a Florida installation, or generally in the southeast, we have ductboard. And for ductboard, since this is going to be up flush against it, we need a ductboard mounting plate that will actually go inside so that the lamps won't be interfering with the ductboard. We'll be measuring this out here and installing this here, which we'll show later, and installing this into this for our installation.
And something that else is Brett's going to be sharing with you, he's going to show you some of the tools of the trade, some of the parts and pieces that are going to be needed so that you guys can be prepared for when you're doing your own installations.
Absolutely.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to show some of the parts and pieces that are needed to do a complete installation of the 1-inch polarized media air cleaner and the UVC, UVV germicidal and oxidizing system. Now some of these parts are going to come with the products themselves, and Brett's going to do a description of those. Some of these you're going to need to have on your own, but chances are you already have these things in your vehicle. They're pretty basic installations. So Brett, if you would you share a little information on the parts that we have here?
Absolutely. First thing we're going to discuss is what we need for the air cleaner. Now in this case, we showed you before, this is a retrofit air cleaner, okay, with our rail system. What comes with the air cleaner is this installation kit and bag and our wire. This piece plugs right into the power head in our air cleaner, and we're going to be running the other piece here, which is pigtailed, over into the inside of the air handling unit where we can wire it up to R and C so that it's powered on. That's just for the air cleaner. Very, very simple. Everything that you see comes with it. Now with the UVV, UVC system, that comes with a 10-foot plug wire that we're going to be using. We'll actually be cutting off the plug part so that we can wire it to a double pole contactor that we'll be using to turn the actual system on and off, because we want the UVC and UVV system to come on and off with the fan. Another thing that you can use, but that does not come with the system, neither does the contactor, by the way, that does not come with the UV light, is a current sensing relay. That's another way that you can wire it to come on and off with the fan.
Brett, I believe if we were in a northern market, this unit can actually just be wired right into an EAC terminal in the furnace itself.
That's correct. In gas furnaces, you will not need a contactor or a current sensing relay. That is correct.
And you brought up something about cutting the plug off the cord. That's not going to void the warranty?
No, it's not, John. Absolutely not. That's just a different way to wire it up. Also, we'll be using some inline fuses with the contactor. That does meet code in Florida where we are, that will be wiring to the line voltage. This also does not come inside the package. Now, let me see what else here. Generally just pieces, parts that you need. Some wiring kits that I use to make some wiring for the low voltage for the UVC, UVV lamp. Wire nuts, basic stuff that most technicians will have on their van. If not, something easy to pick up at one of the local stores. Okay, as you can see, we're up here by the air handling unit where we're going to be doing the installation. First thing you always want to do is make sure your power is off, so use your meter. It is, in fact, off. I'm going to be installing this double pole contactor, which is going to turn our UVV, UVC lamp on and off. It's going to be too cramped to film me doing that, but I will show you what it looks like when we're done. It's basically going to go here. And you can join me in a few minutes after I've installed it to see what it looks like. Okay, we've done all our wiring now. We've done our low voltage wiring for the air cleaner, and we've wired in our double pole contactor for our line voltage to turn on our UVC, UVV lamp. We'll take a closer look here. Now, of course, this varies from place to place in the country, but we've installed a double pole contactor here where we've wired the 24 volts to C and G on the terminal here, and you technicians will know what I'm talking about, that will close the contactor to turn the UVC UVV lamp on. Now, as far as the air cleaner is wired, we have wired that to C and G as well, so it comes on and off with the fan. Both the wiring comes in through here, very, very easy to install. Here's our inline fuses that we wired for our line voltage to our contactor. Okay, now that I've showed you the wiring inside the air handling unit, today I decided to wire it to C and G so the air cleaner comes on and off of the fan. But in this type of installation, you can always wire it to common and red so that it's on all the time. Now next, I'm going to be actually installing the UVC UVV lamp into the duct system and also be installing the air cleaner into the media box. Okay, now that we have all the wiring done, we're going to go ahead and install this ductboard plate into our return plenum. First thing you want to really do is just get it kind of leveled out. It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, the prettier the better. Get it center where you're going to have it. And I like to use a Sharpie pen, like so right here. And we're just going to go ahead and draw the outline of it so that we can cut it open into our plenum. Simple as that. Now I'm going to cut it out. Okay, I've now cut my piece of ductboard out. It's coming out pretty easy. Just pull it out, and now we're ready to put our ductboard plate in here. See if it should slide right in just nicely, and it does. Now what I'm going to do is, we have our toggle bolt kit that's going to help hold this in. It comes with 4. You really only need about 2 of these things unless it was going to be installed underneath. And for gravity's sakes, you might want to use 4. You'll have an extra couple. When I was a service technician, I used to love to use these for thermostats in the wall, to really secure them to the wall. You feel free to use them as you wish. In order to do this, I think I'll use 2 different places here. I will go ahead and just make my little marks like so, where I'm going to put them, and then pull this out like that. Then I'm going to make some holes here, and we'll go ahead and install them. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and install my ductboard plate now. Now, I forgot to mention earlier that I wanted to bring up now. If you notice these 4 holes right here, this is for our optional lamp reflector that we could install if the UVC lamp was going to shine on something that could break down, like the plastic part of flex duct or any type of plastics. In this particular installation, we will not need it. Now, as you can see, I have my toggle bolts ready to go here. I've put some holes in our duct board, and all we're going to do is pop these things in and install it that way. And you'll see the finished product in a second. Okay, now that you can see I have this installed, hopefully you saw I got the toggle bolts in there. You just hold the screw out as you screw it in. It's really quite easy. We're now going to install the UVC lamp. I'm going to have John do that so I can take a break so he can get a little hands-on here. And once we're done with that, we'll show you how we did it. We'll install the lamps, and then everything will be ready to be turned on. Oh, after that as well, we'll show you the installation of the air cleaner.
Okay guys, what we're going to go ahead and do now is Brett's going to take a break, and I'm going to go ahead and install our UVC germicidal lamp and the 5-inch oxidation lamp. And to do that, they're very clearly marked on where they're going to go. And just a sidebar on that, what you can't see on camera, but what's on the side of the actual germicidal system is there's a directional airflow that's on there. And you always want the airflow to be able to touch the UVC portion first and then flow past the oxidation portion. So pretty straightforward when you see it. The same way there's a directional airflow on most filters, there's one on the germicidal oxidation system as well. We do want to be careful to not touch this to get the grease from our fingers on here. With the grease, it can cause dust and dirt and things to stick to the lamps themselves. So we want to try and keep them as clean as possible as we install these. So we're going to go ahead and install these, which this is just going to slip right in. We have a cover plate. Then we have our nuts, which is going to hold this in place nice and tight so it doesn't flop around. We don't need to put this too tight, but we just want to tighten these up. Okay guys, I've installed both of the UVC and the oxidation lamps in here. Now typically you wouldn't have to install the oxidation lamp yourself. When you get the new unit, the oxidation lamp is already going to be in place. In this instance I was changing out an old one, so you might not have seen that on camera, but I replaced that as well. And at this point all we have to do is put the cover plate on and go ahead and put the plug into it, and that way we're going to be complete with this installation. So you can see the cover plate will just simply slide right on, line everything up. You do want to make sure that your oxidation switch will be able to toggle back and forth. Once that's lined up on there, then you're able to just put your nuts on and go ahead and tighten everything up. Okay, as we can now see, I've got the cover plate on the oxidation and UVC system. Now, one of the things that you'll notice about this cover plate is that there's going to be a green LED light. It's an indicator light, and that's going to indicate if you have power going to both lamps. If one or both lamps are out, that little green LED light is not going to be lit. So that's, if you put this system in and when you turn the power on and that LED light doesn't come on, first check to make sure that you have voltage going to it. The ballast does have a lifetime warranty on it if it is a ballast issue, but chances are that's not going to be a problem. The ballast they're potted ballast, they're very bulletproof. If you turn this on, don't get frustrated if that LED light is not on. Make sure you check both lamps. You want to change both the 5-inch ozone lamp and you want to change the 16-inch UVC lamp that's in there. So if you change both those out, chances are that little LED light, that little green indicator is going to become operational for you. In most cases, it's going to be operational to begin with. All you have to do at this point, once we've got it closed up though, is supply your power to it, and that unit's going to be ready to go. Now the second thing that we're going to do is we're going to install the retrofit 1-inch polarized air cleaner. In this case, we've already got the unit wired up. This simply just wires hot. It's a 24-volt unit. We've got it wired to R and C. It's just going to be on all the time. And as this is a retrofit installation, it's going to go inside of our 5-inch media cabinet here. And within that cabinet, you might be able to see on camera there is a rail or a tracking system that's in there. And with the retrofit model air cleaner, Brett, if I could get that, it has these blue rails on it. And those blue rails are going to slide right in on that track. They're designed to be able to do that. You just have to specify the different type of model and manufacturer that you have. So at this point, we're just going to go ahead. We're going to slide the unit in. We're going to take our power, our 24-volt cord, and install it in the unit. Now this is important to remember. We do want to show homeowners how to be able to slide these units in and out, and how they also want to deactivate the power from that. And again, you'll know once we turn power back onto the system, you'll know if there's power going to that air cleaner because it has a red LED light or a red indicator light that's on there. So you'll know if you have power, if you don't have power to it. The best way once we're a homeowner or once we're changing out that media is to simply pull the plug on the power head. The LED light's going to go out, and then we're going to be able to take the 24-volt air cleaner out of the system to maintain or to change that media pad. Okay guys, this is the moment of truth. I'm going to go ahead and have Brett turn the breaker back on since that was our power for on and off. And guys, I can see on here, one, I can already see the glow of the UV intensity, but we don't obviously want to look at that. What we do want to do is look at our LED light indicator over here, which is on, and it's staying on, and we have our red LED light indicator over here within the 24-volt air cleaner panel. And at this point, All we have to do is go ahead and put our cover plates on. Before I do that, you'll notice that this has some foam tape, so it's just going to wrap right around the cord here, so we're not going to get any kind of blow-by with that. So we're going to go ahead and put that on. The last thing we have to do is put the cover back on the air handler itself, and we're ready to rock and roll, and we're going to have some nice, clean, fresh, healthy air.